messing around.
That's not a compliment to say you look like you're going to church. When I say you look like you're going to church, you look like you're somebody auntie. Like you're somebody auntie for the first time in a long time.
I am so many people's auntie, though, and I like it.
Stepping out. You stepping out, and you about to show Jesus that if he choosing, choose you.
These are all still compliments to me. These are all still things that I like to hear. Yes, Jesus picked me.
Blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus.
When it comes to Jesus.
Yeah, why are you wearing a dress with the shoulders, with the Phil Jackson shoulder pads?
I'm misplaying professional ball, man. What can I tell you? I put on my jersey.
Why are you dressed up? Why
I
you
got
don't
my floofy arms on?
Had to knock it off. You went somewhere today.
No, you know what? I always, everybody knows this, I always wear my Mess Around merch because I live in it and I love it so much. You can get yours at themessaroundpod.com. And then I went to record with you today and I managed to spill my entire cup of tea all over it. So I literally grabbed at the top of my drawer, which is this very cute Farm Rio bodysuit all the way from Brazil.
Ooh.
Yes.
Did you go to Brazil to get it?
No. But I would. I've been to so many countries. I've never been to Brazil.
You've never been to Brazil? You could be Brazilian.
I have been mistaken many a time for Brazilian.
Yep. There you go.
There you go. Now I'm wearing the clothes. No, I just need a plane ticket. Somebody hit me up. Air Brazil, is that a thing? Send me that.
Air Brazil, I think so. It's just filled with butt injections. People on there
just the most beautiful human beings in the world. They'll put me in the cabin or something. But like, go get down there. Hello. Look at you. You got a collar on. We do actually look quite formal for today's episode.
Well, here's why I'm dressed this way. Is because when I woke up this morning in this, I woke up in a different T-shirt, and I was about to go and shower, and so I took the shirt off. I was about to go shower, and my phone rang. It was an important call, so I took the call. And then now, before I know it, I'm walking around my house. I'm in the kitchen. I say, let me make breakfast while I'm on the phone, making breakfast, eating. Before I know it, the time has slipped away from me. And I said, I don't have time to go and get in the shower and get all my morning rituals going. I said, I just got to put on another T-shirt. I put the T-shirt on. I sat down, looked at the camera and said, the T-shirt looks kind of crummy, So I threw the jacket on.
I see.
Over it.
I see. Both of us are just trying to make it work today.
That's right. And I threw a hat on, and that's it.
Both of us just trying to figure it out today, and somehow ended up looking hella cute. I just want to say.
Thank you for saying so.
We're looking good on the podcast today. Well, we have a really exciting episode today, and it's really funny for me about this. When I rewatched the episode, was some of my favorite moments were in this episode, but I did not know it was this episode. If that makes sense.
Same here. Yeah.
Right. So episode 403, Julie Berkman's older sister. AKA Trashley. Give us the rundown.
Oh my gosh. So in this episode, when Jess discovers that her dad is dating and in love with her old high school nemesis, Trashley Berkman, she enlists some help from Cece to make sure a wedding will never happen. Now, meanwhile, Schmidt asked the boys to help him rig a focus group in an attempt to impress his boss and secure the coveted Sponge account. Let's go to break. Hopefully we have a Sponge sponsor.
Scrub your daddy. What that?
And we're back. Turns out we do not have a Sponge sponsor.
Oh my gosh. So we were just talking about what we were wearing. Just highly thrilling content for you guys. But I will say I had the thought and then I got distracted. And now I realize I was going to wear a yellow sweater and like a green toque.
You're kidding.
So it kind of looked like a sponge.
So you can look like a sponge? Well, so you were going to do that intentionally?
Yeah, well, when I messed up my mess around sweater and I was like, I could grab my yellow sweater and I could wear a green toque. And then I got a little distracted, and then I grabbed this bodysuit instead. And if I'm being 1,000% honest, the bangs are banging today. And if I wear a toque, it kind of messes up my hair. And then I was just like, you know what, forget the sponge.
Well, you can wear the toque on the back of the head. You can wear it on the back.
You got to have a real special shaped head to just have it hang off like that. I've tried, it doesn't work. I got a little head.
This is how I know you're not creative, okay? Because y'all put all these clips and stuff in your hair to keep different hair pieces in. Figure out a clip to keep the toque on the back.
I have no clips in my hair. This is it. This is it.
We get it, Hannah. You're all natural.
I'm all
We understand.
natural. And the Indian hair is just like this, you guys.
Yeah, you're going to wake up. I'm going to have that shit cut off and sold immediately.
If I hit hard times, if I show up here bald one day, you'd be like, she's having financial problems.
Oh my
Okay, let's dive in because there's so much to talk about. This was directed by the amazing Fred Goss and written by Nina Padrad, which is Nassim's little sis. She was on the writing staff of New Girl, and this is such a great episode. She's crazy talented, man. She's on everything.
Well, she's super gifted. I texted her about this episode. She did not respond.
Some disrespect right there. Nina!
I had some questions. I don't know if her numbers. I could have been texting somebody else. My text to her was Nina ?
Yes,
I don't know if she has this number or not. I have no idea. I have no idea.
That's the scariest thing because you're asking me if I'm me.
Yeah. So
that's a hard pass for me. Are you?
Yeah. Oh man. So she didn't answer, but I did have some questions. Right. And we'll get. I want to say we'll get there. There's a mention of a band. I gotta forget where it was, but the Copays. Do you remember that?
Copays. Rob Reiner.
All right. There we go. That's what it was. But I wanted to ask her about what. Okay. Yeah, we'll get there. So in this particular episode.
Oh man, even the start of this, they just have to go full Nick disgusting.
I mean, just absolutely gross. So Schmidt asked Nick why his idea notebook is covered in stains. And Nick says it's either sloppy Joe or blood.
I want to say, man, the flashback pop felt unnecessary. I got it. I believed it. It's Nick Miller. Then you had to show me the sloppiest Joe I've ever seen. And then you just show me the blood pouring out of his nose.
Yeah, and it might be. Yeah, that was
gross.
That was gross, but right on brand for this show. You have to show how insane.
I did love a good flashback pop. Those were always fun to shoot.
Oh yeah. Those are the best days sometimes too, when it's like a day of flashbacks.
Yeah,
it's such a because it shows up in the script as a scene, and sometimes these work hours get a little long, and when you see it in the schedule, you look and it says flashback, and you look how many pages it is, and you go, it's like 1/8 of a page. Like,
yeah,
perfect.
1/8. Also, like barely any. You maybe would say one word, if anything.
Yeah.
But you would get to do something funny, and that was always nice. We had a lot of dialogue-heavy scenes where you had to really memorize all your lines and your cues, which was great. But yeah, the flashbacks were great because you were usually doing something ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was nice days. That's true. Jess comes in and she asks if anyone has seen the French press. And Nick says he was the one who used it to get the pulp out of his orange juice. And then it kind of, this thing of 64B and the tagine is where the French press is. And I was like, again, this show is a bit ahead of its time because right now, everybody is into hyper-organization in their home. It's like taken off in a crazy way. Organizers, professional organizers coming in and doing these things in your house is wild.
I was about to challenge you on that for a second, and then I realized
you had organizers come to your house.
Yeah, I had someone come in and organize my kitchen.
That's what I'm saying.
And I didn't even
Schmidt
realize
was ahead
until
of the game.
Yeah, I didn't even realize until I went into the pantry the other day, and I was like, I was making Lily lunch for school, and I said, oh crap, I don't remember if I have like she loves these like little cheddar bunnies. Oh yeah. And I was like, I don't think I have anymore. I was like, damn it, I forgot to go grab some. And I go in there and I'm looking, it's a pretty big pantry, so I'm looking around, and I'm realizing, oh, they're all labeled. And I didn't pay attention to it. They've been labeled this whole time. But I walk in there and I'm just looking, I'm like, where are they? And then I go, oh. There they are. It was a quick Lily snacks.
Apples, bananas, cheddar bunnies. It's in the C section of snacks.
I was like, this is good. I see why people do this. Because where I'm from, let me tell you something. We don't, my mom, even still, I have one of these. Everybody, I think even if you have an organized house, you have to have a junk drawer.
Everybody has a junk drawer that it's weird, like wires and tape and
matches and all kinds of stuff in there.
Loose credit cards that are expired. You're just
old
like, what
batteries. One day I'm going to charge this battery. Quickly. Yes,
batteries.
exactly.
Old batteries that don't work anymore.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna charge this one day.
And you're just like, I can't put it in the garbage landfill.
It'll explode.
Yeah, they told us we cannot put this in the trash.
What about the fish? Think about the fish.
The fish. Surrounded by old, useless batteries. Okay, there's a moment in this open when they are trying to find the tagine. Am I in this right spot? I think so. Where I swear that was improvised, because I think in the script there was a line where like Coach comes from the bathroom, right, and he improvs this thing of like, he says something and then he goes like, I don't know why, but the bathroom smells really bad, right? He makes a joke.
Yeah, he says, I was turtling.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I was, used to stop me in the middle of or prairie dogged.
Prairie dogging, there we go.
You made me prairie dog. I don't go to the bathroom, it smells really bad in there.
No, he goes, now his bathroom stinks for no reason.
But here's the thing, what I think. This is my guess on this. My guess on this, because everybody had a little smile on their face, was that they just had him come from that hallway. And Damon then, maybe Jake or you went like, you just came from the shitter. This is what just happened to you. Everybody came from a bedroom. And of course, then Damon had to say something about it. Yeah. So he says that. And then when the scene ends, Jake adds a little weird bit about the 64B tagine that was not in the script. He just improvs it. And Max can't let it sit. And he re-enters and screams that line of like, what are you doing there? You're killing animals. And it's all, I think, just because they made Damon come from down the hall. And they kept this whole toilet stinky poop bet in because you guys were just trying to make the day fun. That's my guess.
No, that guess is correct. I think, a lot of times on this show, you give an inch, we'll take a mile.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like we'll burn that thing to the ground. And then the cool thing about our team is that once it hits the editing room, they try it. Whatever you try, they'll see how they can make it work. They'll see what's the best possible hilarious outcome. And that was it. Damon made that up.
Yeah. And then like the fact that then Nick kind of added to it, Jake added to it, and then the quickness of Max to come out in the best Schmidt voice, that yelling, screaming one, and to do that. Oh my gosh, he killed me.
Oh man.
Because that was when they did the flashback of you too, where you burned your unders.
Burned my unders. I come in my room, Nick's in my room, and I'm drying myself off. Looking honestly, when I watched it back, what a regal body. What a regal, glorious. But I don't know what mode I was in there, but I was clearly in sex mode because I looked like,
You look fully lotioned, man.
Gotta be. First of all, you gotta stay moist.
You're very moisturized.
Moist. You can't be on camera looking dry and ashy. I've made that mistake before. And a lot of actors do. I had to lather myself up, and then as you're drying yourself off with a towel, yeah, it happens. You can like
burn.
First of all, you're going too hard. Sometimes when you're in a rush, you get a dry towel that maybe's been sitting out for a while, which probably happens in this loft. They probably don't. Well,
they don't wash the towels. They just let them stiff dry.
They don't stiff dry. You burn yourself every once in a while. Get a little rug burn. And ain't nothing God can't fix.
Anyway. Jess then announces that her dad and new girlfriend are coming to visit. And then my character, Cece, is delighted. And I forgot about this super cute flashback. And it genuinely made me laugh. Where he talks about the car, and the woman's like, I don't even have a car. And she's like, get one. I was like, yeah, little girls are crazy. And the delight in little Cece, it was such a cute, great little flashback. I love that too, when they showed like how things go all the way back for their friendship.
Yeah.
It's a special part of this show when they do that kind of stuff. So
the girl what's the girl's name who plays you?
Jaden
looks. Have you seen her recently? I haven't seen her recently. She looks exactly like you.
I know, we're
flashbacks.
twins. I'll find a picture. We took a picture together in the last season. We took a picture, and it was like, it's just me 20 years ago. Like, we are so similar. And she's so kind and so wonderful and so talented. We were so lucky to scoop her up when she was little. And yeah, she was with us the whole 8 years.
My gosh. I watched that flashback and I was just like, is that Hannah? What did they? I was like, what the heck is this?
Everybody,
so
it's been
much
on
like
so
you.
many lists as one of the great like adult kid castings,
Yeah.
like on TV history.
Yeah.
It's uncanny for sure.
Yeah.
And she's
That's
super
so
sweet and
crazy.
kind, and I love her very much.
That's so crazy.
Okay, the reveal.
Yes.
The reveal of who Rob Reiner is dating
Oh my
is
gosh.
Caitlin Olsen, whose delivery at the dining table, the way she does these comedic turns, where you think she's going to sit there and try to like protect her reputation, and she leads you that way with the tone she's using. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, and no, it didn't work. You know, I banged like 9,000 guys. And it was like really great. And it's so funny to me how she does it. It's like you get like 10 red herrings thrown at you. It's so great.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's funny. I tried to think while watching this. Have I known any? Because obviously later on it's revealed that she is a sex therapist.
Yes, a sex therapist,
Yeah,
which
and
still makes the text she was getting
first of
strange.
all, let me explain something to you. She was lying. That's my theory.
Me
She
too.
was a sex therapist, but she was still getting dick down in Dallas.
Why is that man coming just to like get her stuff too from like the sex addicts? Like that was, it's not like she was having a relapse and she needed to call like a support person.
In what world are you a guest in someone's home?
Yeah.
And then you call somebody else to show up and invite them into this home without informing the homeowner.
She also did like go get him in her car, like he doesn't have a car. And she like drove him back.
Yeah, and then just had him in the room in your bedroom.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
But she wasn't having like a relapse, which is usually when you would call like your AA sponsor or your whatever sponsor for your addiction. So why would all she's doing is she's deciding to take a break in her relationship. Why are you calling someone who's also a sex addict? Like it didn't make that part to me. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. And so I kept thinking we're going to learn that she is what Jess is right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So this whole episode caught me off guard.
Yeah,
the whole time
me
I was
too.
like,
Because
God.
I'd seen it. Obviously, I was there.
We were there.
But I forgot. I thought for sure it was going to come back that she was a cheater. She's just lying, and she's going to break his heart, and it wasn't the case.
Also, I didn't realize that like sleeping with your dare officer is a terrible thing. I was like, she's 16, 17 years old, I guess. I don't know. And she's slept with a dare officer. Like, that's a terrible thing. Two consenting humans. What's wrong? Why? Isn't dare about staying off drugs? Just because they're having...
Who's going to tell her about the laws in this country? So a grown man shows up
What
to
if
a
it
high
was a
school.
teenage dare officer?
This is a grown man.
Okay, then it's statutory rape. This is terrible. But that should be on the dare officer, not on Trashly Berkman.
Well, I mean,
It's not on her.
It should be on both.
No, not according to the laws of your country.
Yeah, it is.
According
It's
to
on
the laws
both.
of the country, she's not in trouble.
No,
He's
it
in
is.
trouble.
No, it is on both. But he has the harsher penalty because he is an adult.
She has
He
no
should
penalty.
know better. Yeah, if I was her mama, I would whoop her little ass.
Well, instead, her daddy came.
That's the
friend's daddy
punishment. You did what with the dare officer? First of all, he ain't gonna make it to prison because I'm gonna put a bullet in him, and then I'm gonna whoop your little ass.
You know what
are you
also
talking
made
about?
me laugh is this idea of Rivermouth is crazy.
Rivermouth.
Rivermouth is crazy. George Jiang, the Giardia Giant,
Oh my god.
should be the new tongue twister for all the kids to try to say.
George Yang, the Giardia Giant.
It's very tricky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very funny. Okay, so now we're going to cut away from this to go to maybe what is my favorite. I remember this scene so deeply. It's one of my favorite scenes ever in New Girl, where you guys are all sitting on the bench in the bathroom, and all Schmidt is trying to get you to say is anything but the word sponge.
We can't stop saying it.
The way you do it killed me, because you take like 20 seconds, which is forever in like comedy TV, and then you're like sponge. And then when Coach almost makes Schmidt cry, why would you say that?
Why'd you say that?
It's so funny, but it is true. If somebody says something so much, your brain just like stops.
Here's what I like about scenes like this. Whenever they would put us four in a scene where it's like, just go be stupid. Just take turns doing bits. You like pile into each other's bits, outbid each other, see who's going to do the stupidest bit, the dumbest thing. It's like I'm telling you, that scene went on so long. They just cut it into that. I remember filming it and then thinking, well, I can't wait. A month from now we'll see it. I'm anxious to see what they use, like what the cut's going to look like,
because they have so many options. Also, by the way, that's such a big credit to Fred Goss, awesome director. Because you can see it again in the first one where you guys all make fun of Damon for going to the bathroom, right? Mm-hmm. And he makes fun of himself. And in this sponge scene, that's just him letting you guys have that runway too. And not be like, he's not, being married to like the time, oh God, we got to get to the next thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. And realizing letting you guys go in those moments is where they're going to find the gold. And that is why this episode to me was so funny, is those moments. And I will say, I feel like it's the episode that I have seen so far in our rewatch Jake Johnson break the most. He has the Jake smile on his face in so many scenes, just watching you guys be idiots. He's so happy.
Oh my God. It's the best. They're the easiest days. They're the best days.
Yeah.
Or like, honestly, when you sit back and think about it, there's a whole scene about a sponge.
I know.
And all we say is sponge.
That's it. Also, it's such a fun day because you look and you go, this is going to be a really, really funny scene. And I don't have to memorize anything. It's 2 words, 1 word.
Yeah.
And so it's all in the other stuff, which is so fun to do. Yeah. It's all going to be a group shot, right? So it's so fun. The reactions and the little moments and the little tiny improvs you're now free to do. Mm-hmm. So it's such a fun episode. This also, so when Schmidt goes back to work and the great Michaela Watkins, who plays Gina, is there, and he's like begging for the sponge account. And she's like, no, I'm giving it to this other character in the office. It's got like the football.
Yeah.
And then when he begs for it, she finally gives it to him. By the way, her performance is so incredibly funny. Michaela Watkins' performance is so funny and dry and annoyed and perfect. But then when he comes out and he goes, sports, and he like hits the football, and all she does is stand up, and he drops to the floor and screams and crawls away. The physical comedy in this episode is just killing me.
Yeah, Max is pretty brilliant at that type of stuff. Like he's pretty damn good.
The drop and crawl and shriek was killing me.
Oh man.
Okay, then we're back at the dinner table. We're learning all of this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ashley's letting us know she's on back in high school, she was on a ton of ecstasy. That made me laugh so much. It's like, damn.
Just doing E and watching the movie Ed TV.
You know what's so funny? When I heard that, I thought, I immediately pictured, for some reason, I thought I heard what I heard, but I didn't. And I looked at you in that moment, and I thought, I wonder if Hannah ever, and this is so left field, if Hannah knows who Ed the Sock is.
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
That's a Canadian thing.
Well, right? He was on Much Music, and I was a VJ on Much Music. He was a co-worker.
Ed the Sock was a co-worker.
Yeah.
So
was Nardwar, if you know who Nardwar is.
I know who Nardwar is, but I think Ed the Sock is such a like deep cut for folks. And I randomly knew about that when I was, I shoot these BMO commercials, shout out to my BMO family. And I remember Joanne, our makeup artist, was like, one of the crew members mentioned it. And she used to be one of the Ed the Sock dancers.
They used to do hot tubs. They would get girls in bikinis and get them in a hot tub. And there's a man standing outside with a sock on his hand saying really out of pocket stuff.
Yeah. So when you
said, he had his own hot tub late night show at the Sock. It was not okay.
And I thought, for some reason, it popped in my head when she said, I was doing a lot of E and watching a lot of Ed. I thought she said Ed the Sock. And I just went,
it's really funny. You should pitch that.
Oh, gosh.
Should we do some ADR on it? We can do it in the re-release.
We could do it in the re-release. I think we are doing a re-release. Yeah, they're giving us $8 million per episode each,
just to do this ADR. So this incredible scene where you're watching Jess get highly triggered because she's like, "I'm a sex addict. I do all these things. The drugs, the sex, the group thing, all of it." And they're watching the dad, Rob Reiner, not care. Love
Not
it.
at all.
Absolutely love it. Knows all about it. Can't surprise me. Can't shock me. Does the funniest singing ever. Made me want to crawl under my couch. So funny. And when she's like, "Stop. You're going to make me fall in love with you all over again." No, do what I want to. So funny. I just love how then Cece gets to be excited because she's like, "Oh yeah, this is why I came today. I came for the free show. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
This is
Drama.
Perfect. We're doing the drama, and it doesn't involve
Cece
me."
watches a lot of reality TV.
Yes, so does the woman who plays Cece. Okay, now we're in the parking garage for what is another ridiculous bit-filled scene with Da Boys.
Yes. Schmidt has gathered the troops. He's got a plan, right? Yeah. He's got Nick, Coach Winston, and he wants to rig the focus group that he's been tasked with putting together. He's promised them pizza. No, that is the thing. And then it turns into a whole bit. Nick is just like, "You know what, man? I'm out. I can buy my own pizza. Does anybody have $15?
He's like, but like 22 with like, I want like a lot of ham.
Yeah.
That bit. It's like 25.
So
and then the tip bit is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Don't tip delivery people.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you do tip delivery people.
Literally driving to your house to give you your food.
Coach said he needs an hour to get into character. And then Schmidt said no.
He goes, "So I just need 1 hour alone in a room to get into character." And he goes, "No." And he's like, "All right, great." Like unfazed. And then
my favorite
Winston
part
gets his head knocked off.
Yeah, he's like, "Listen, I'm in, assuming the pizza is still at the table." And Schmidt is, "Say pizza again. I just want to talk about like toppings and like pizza." It turns into a fight in the parking lot, which is so funny.
Him get held back.
Oh man!
My gosh, so funny.
The focus group stuff was really, really funny. I just remember right at the beginning of that, Nick is hitting it off with Brittany.
My goodness, the smoothness. You know what it is? Those kinds of things are very important for women to watch because the way he did it is so dumb and effective. So effective. Just ask the simplest question. And then he's like, "We have so much in common, Nick." I was like, "What in common? You have nothing in common. You're just sitting in a room together."
You think this is dumb, right? Yeah, it's dumb. We have so much in common. Oh my
so
gosh!
Funny, the handshake, the flirting is so hysterical. Yeah, me too. Like whatever she says, like yeah, me too. Totally think that too.
We're gonna come back to that, but well, let's go back and see if the Sponge sponsor has been secured yet. I don't think so, but we'll be right back. And we are back. Before we dive into this, Hannah, I am curious. I forgot where we left off this ridiculous, utterly ridiculous segment.
Here's where we left off with the bear. Okay.
Oh, the bear. I didn't know we were speaking about that, but okay, go ahead, Hannah.
What do you mean then? What were you going to say? I thought you were going to come at me with the bear again because listen, you've made it very clear you want to hear about the bear. I do my own bear thing. I do a whole bear recap that happens at the end of every season now, and it works great. And we find all the bears and all my bear people are happy, and you do not have to be involved, and so it works for the whole family.
Okay,
so
fine, Hannah. Since you want to talk about bears, let's just get into it. Did you find one?
I didn't look.
All right.
Because I'm supposed to do it at the end of the season. We made on. We made a deal.
Plowing ahead, moving on.
You have so many sisters by choice that you get to have a real sister relationship with where we're just here to annoy you and yell at you. But if they're all by choice is the greatest thing about your life. Okay.
It is by choice.
It is by choice. All of us are here by choice. All these sisters in your life.
And none of you respect me.
No, but we love you.
Yeah, I know. And that's all that counts. Now, this goes back to what you said earlier about the real reason why Cece is here. Your suggestion is to go through Ashley's phone for dirt, which is very effective, but also shame on you. Never go through someone's private stuff.
You've definitely gone through people's phone.
Can I be honest with you? Can I be 100% honest with you?
100%.
100% honest with you. Yeah.
That was a Caitlin Olsen, a Julie Berkman read right there. Yeah. Can I be honest with you? Yes, I have.
I mean, it's been a while, but I have.
It's been a while for me too, but I definitely have too. And you know what I'll say? Effective and worth it.
Yes. You always find what you're looking for.
That's right.
Not good. Which is not great.
Yeah, Cece's like, hello. She's like, drugs and sex and whatever it is with your dad. We're looking through her phone. But the problem is that when you've got that lens on, your eyeballs, whatever you're going to find is going to fit that narrative. And then that's what happens. They storm in the bedroom and they're like, gotcha. Yep. And then this is the part where we have some issue with.
Yeah, just a little bit.
The cumin part, though, was brilliant writing, Nina.
Oh, my gosh. Cumin. It's about cumin. Like...
I'm cumin. Little Indian spice right there. Little masala going on.
Oh, gosh. That's funny.
Jim is one of my clients. Is so wild. I don't believe it.
Yeah, because it could have gone anyway. Jim is one of my clients. And what kind of sex therapist are we talking about?
Yeah.
What kind? Because some people say women of the evening, professional sex workers are sex therapists.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
We don't know. But here's what I will say. It seems like Bob, the dad, knows everything. And he has no problem with it. So it's irrelevant. But I do know that feeling and understand it from Jess's point of view, where she's like, yeah, it's no problem until it's a problem. And then I'm always picking up the pieces for my dad's dating life, and I don't want to. And this has trouble written all over it, and I don't want to do it. Right. So I can also kind of understand that response.
Yeah. A lot of times, though, I would say with people, they get into these things and they don't realize that it's a habitual thing and that it's always bad. The people on the outside can see it. It's like when you have a friend and they introduce you to someone, you already know it's not going to work out.
Sure.
But you don't want to say anything because you've tried before in the past. And they, people have to go through their own motions. It's their own journey, their own story. So you gotta let him go through this, daughter or not. This man is aged. This man has seen some things. He has done his duty. This is what I'm saying too. It's not like he's trying to get married and have a kid and has to have that whatever. No, he's just let him do what he wants to do. Yeah. But then you also have the ability to say, if it all falls apart, that's not on me now. You're grown. I'm grown. Do your thing. You know how many? I'm getting to that. I'm 40. I'm 41 right now, right? And I'm getting to that age. A lot of my friends are obviously in their 40s. Some are in their 50s. Some are in their 60s. Right? I have some acquaintances in their 70s. You know what I mean? You see, depending on maybe their financial status, their relationships, that maybe they're divorced. You see them with very young women, and they have a smile on their face from ear to ear. And I go, I can't stop you from being happy. You got to check in on her. You good? Like, this what you want? And she's and 99% of the time they're like, this is great, because they each fulfill something that one is lacking, or one is
Here's what I will say about people. Some people have a lot of time on their hands. The time in the world to walk around and go up to a happy couple of two consenting adults. I don't care what age, race, gender combination you would like, whatever it is, whatever you are together. And people want to have an opinion or a thought on it. And I'm like, how much time do you have? Also, do you want me to poke into your life?
Right.
I don't think so. If they're consenting adults and they are happy, 2 of them together, 5 of them together, I don't care. Do your thing. Nothing to do with me. I'm over here trying to just get my own life together. And I don't want you looking at my life too close.
Hannah, are you trying to justify your underage and the dare officer comment? Are you trying to walk that back?
I assumed it was like another the same age person.
No,
you
a dare
have
officer.
Dare officers coming to Saudi Arabia because there's no reason for it in Saudi Arabia.
Well, we had dare officers, and these were grown men. These were
Oh, that's
these
why.
were
See, I don't know what a
cops.
dare officer looks like.
These were cops.
Oh yeah, no, that's an issue.
On their
agree.
off time,
I
they come and
know.
talk to the kids.
I'm not Googling dare officer. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't want to. In this reference.
Also, I thought this was kind of a great moment when Ashley Berkman says, "Oh, by the way, George gave me the Giardia. He had the river mouth, and I saved you from it." And I was like, man, so many times the rumors that would fly around school were always pinned on the girl.
Yep, all the time.
Yeah, and
Because they did
it. And I thought it was like really sweet that in this moment it was like, again, great having female writers being just like, also, let's just get the rumors straight.
Mm-hmm. But guess what? Somebody had to give George that river mouth.
Maybe he just swam around the river and got Giardia.
Maybe it was Jess.
It all comes full circle. Bum, bum, bum. So this all happens. Bob storms off saying he knew it was a bad idea to bring Ashley there. He's super upset. Jess realizes she's made a mistake. Now back in the lab of the focus group, where Coach and Winston and Nick are trying to remember their written lines and go off script in a way that is so funny and unhinged. And the way Max is moving around the room closer and closer to the two-way mirror, and it's making Michaela Watkins want to just strangle him, was so funny to me too. The two-way mirror is so disorienting, so I kind of get it. But
Like, not a mirror, not a miror,
not a mirror, not a mirror, you idiot, not a mirror.
And Winston. So this is one of those moments that I remember going full Winston. This was a complete brain meltdown Winston mode when he's just trying to talk about this, the sponge. He's like, and he is Thor. He is my hammer. Mel, like he's in a different place. He's gone full Winston.
The Winston stutter is so funny of like trying to get the brain to work. Also, Coach improvising, or not improvising, but like Coach character improvising this moment of squishy whip. Give me a hit of that squishy whip.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that made me laugh too. Also, Nick being like, that makes you clean. Move on. Move away from me. Move on. Because he knows he's going to say something that's going to upset his friend. Michaela Watkins comes in. She's pissed. She's clear. It's rigged because these guys are terrible actors.
Yep.
Which also, by the way, I was kind of like, y'all are messing with his job.
Yeah. It was, as soon as Nick started doing that, I was thinking to myself, what a shitty friend. I can understand with Coach and Winston. They're trying. They're just bad at it. Nick is just like, this is stupid, dude. I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
like
his job.
Like, bro, this
His
is my
boss. I was like, man, and that's why I think it is, Nick that runs and goes and tries to make it right because he realized he went too far. So he goes and tries to fix it and inadvertently does, but not because he's clever about it.
But he helps him. He helps him in the process. Yeah, well, I guess we're going to get to that.
We're going to get to that, yeah.
We're going to get to that, yeah.
Oh, we're back with Bob. Bob says he can take care of himself. Jess says that Bob has almost ended up with Nancy Zimmerman. Bob says the point is he's still standing. Oh, yeah, Nancy Zimmerman. I think that's the woman who pretended she was paraplegic.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, forget it, and walked away. But then this is what we were talking about. The dad releases Jess and basically says, like, okay, well, maybe I'll get hurt again, but you don't need to take care of me anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, let me just be happy. For a moment, I'm happy, even if it doesn't end well. Just like, let me have this. Mm-hmm. And it's really sweet. She gets it. Then they see this guy, the chocoholic, that she's given a ride to.
Chocoholic. My favorite was what he said, if you were black, I'd be in trouble.
Thank you is the greatest response to.
It's so funny.
Insane.
It's a straight vodka, by the way.
Yeah. Good morning.
I got problems.
Ashley then tells Bob she needs a little space. And then Jess is like, no, we're going to make, again, inserts herself. By the way,
Yeah.
Bob just said, I got it. And she's like, no, we're going to get the ring and this is going to be fine. We then go back to Gina's office. Nick barges in and says, please don't fire my friend Schmidt. He's the cleanest man I know. And he's like on a track. It's not working. I'm trying to justify it. And then sidebars really quick with Schmidt. And he's like, just by the way, I need like, and then does the funniest diminishing of numbers I've ever seen, like 15 to 30.
Just like, nah,
5 is braggy.
It's a little braggy.
3. It ends at 3. Otherwise, it's disrespectful to the woman.
To the girl. It's so funny. And this is when Schmidt is, he chimes in. He's like, but what if she's turned off by the mess? And he says, well, I'll put a tarp down. And that's when it comes to Schmidt. Like, hey, I think I got it. I think
the
this
dirtiest
is the
thing in the room
should be her.
And then you watch Michaela's face because she's like, oh, God, that's actually good. And they weren't trying to pitch. This was just their conversation. They had gone off track of what the pitch was going to be. So the man sponge now is a thing. He gets the account. It works. We go back to Bob and Jess and Ashley and the weirdest proposal of all time. But she says yes, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And then they all get back together in the loft. And they do a cheers.
This is so stupid. And he's wiping it up with his feet. And Coach is like, there's literally a sponge in your hand.
Didn't it make you think in that moment that there was a sponge sponsor for that episode? Because I was like, in that moment, they had to show that the sponge did work. And sometimes when we'd get sponsors on the show, like you have to always show it in a good light, even if you're making fun of it. But I was like, this feels like we're watching an ad at the end. And then they cut to the fake ad.
Yes.
Very sexy.
I forgot to look her up. I was like, who's that?
That's a sexy lady.
Listen,
I felt uncomfortable. That's how I know, because I get very uncomfortable if I see like super sexy things on screen. And I was like, this
I had
is
to look around the
very
room and
sexy
see
for our show.
I looked around. I said, Lily ain't in here, is she? Hold on.
I know.
Am I alone watching this?
I was like, whoa, they really did like that ad. I was like, that was The Mess Around, an iHeartMedia production.
Our executive producer is Joelle Monique. Our senior producer is Abu Zafar. Bei Wang provided engineering and editing services.
Additional production from Daniel Goodman, Wendy Heisler, and Kyle Chevron. Our theme song was written and composed by Ronald Jukebox Jackson.
Catch you next time.
Bye.